And this morning, we're launching NewsNation Live's Investigation Nation, where every week we dive into a criminal case and zero in on new developments in cases across the country. Today, we're diving into new evidence filed by attorneys of the man convicted of killing 2 young girls in Delphi, Indiana back in 2017. Richard Allen's attorneys submitting the evidence last week. The newly filed documents contain evidence related to the Odinism theory, along with several depositions from key investigators. The initial trial judge had ruled out any evidence that pointed toward other suspects, such as the idea that several practitioners of Odinism had killed Abigail Williams and Liberty German in a ritualistic sacrifice. Back in October of 2023, I went to the scene of the crime. Here's what I found. We know that Liberty German took cell phone video here on this bridge when she and her best friend Abigail Williams encountered a man who ordered them down the hill. And a quarter mile from where we are standing is where the leaked crime scene photos were taken. What we don't know is what happened between this encounter on the bridge and that remote, rugged area. Joining me now to discuss are the co-hosts of the Murder Sheet podcast who have been on this story from the very start, Kevin Greenlee and Caine. We want to welcome you very much to the program. I'm so glad that you're here. We've been talking for a while on this. So let's take a quick step back to refresh our viewers of the story and start with the leaked crime scene photos and that cell phone video that I referenced with that chilling order to the girls down the hill. It is one of the key pieces of evidence from this case, the recording of the alleged killer or killer caught on the cell phone video recorded by Libby German. Let's take a listen to that.
Downhill. Downhill. Downhill.
And that was played over and over again for jurors in this trial, and it was a crucial evidence during trial. Let's talk about how important this video will be during this possible appeal.
Absolutely. That video was crucial in identifying Richard Allen as the girl's killer. And if you listen to recordings of his voice and that recording, I think people will find that the similarity is breathtaking. In terms of how important this will be during appeal, with the appeal, they're going to be looking less at the facts of the case and more about whether the law was followed by the judge and by the prosecutor.
Kevin, you know, this judge released more than 1,200 pages of exhibits from Allen's case just last week, then sealed the exhibit. So what does that signal about a possible appeal? What does that tell us?
Well, it gives us an idea of some of the exhibits and things that are being looked at by the appellate attorneys. What I thought was most interesting about these released exhibits last week was the fact that it included the original police interview that was done with Kathy Allen, who was the wife of Richard Allen, the man ultimately convicted of these crimes.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. But first, I just want to ask you about what kind of evidence will need to be presented to link that this ancient religious practice of Odinism played a role in the girl's death. This has been kind of a sidebar story. A lot of people talking about this. There was Richard Allen, then there was this other part. So I'm wondering what you think, is this really going to come into play, or are we going to get there?
We don't think we're going to get there, Laura, and here's why. The defense had an opportunity in the pretrial phase to introduce this theory, and what they needed to do was link an Odinist to the crime scene or to the crime in some way, and they failed to do that. I mean, this is a very interesting theory as far as, like, it gets a lot of media clicks and people are fascinated by, a cult in the woods of Indiana, but look at it, there's no evidence there, so it's a little surprising to see this continue to come up because it's just a very flimsy theory.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.